What's up everyone, welcome back to Just Finish Coding. This is part 10 of our full Pygame course on Python, so let's get coding.
Just finished coding.
Now quick interjection here, if you've not watched parts 1 to 9, please watch them before you come here because we're picking up from where we left off and you'll be very lost. I'll leave a card for you right here. Please watch the videos and then come right back. If you're still here, I'm going to assume that you've watched parts 1 to 9, in which case you should have most of your Space Invaders game set up, and in this video we'll be setting up the end screens and also a little bit with our sound effects. Let's get right into it. Before I get into making functions though, I do want to change one thing in my main loop where I change the level. So here you also want to do one more thing when you're changing levels 1, 2, 3 to the next level, and that is to reset this particular timer. Okay, so just sleeping is not enough. You need to basically you need to set the timer back to 40 seconds, otherwise your timer is just going to be 0 and immediately it's going to come back into this loop. So what you can do is say timer sec is equal to, and I think I call the variable max time, and that is pretty much going to be it. And now it's important to have a function just like this intro screen right here. So I think it's so similar that I can just copy and paste this in. So copy and I will paste. So our intro screen just had one thing that's different from our end screen, and that is it had a way to get out of the function. But in the end screen, we're going to remove that particular way. So we can't, get out of the function if we press the A key or anything. The only way to exit it is going to be to close the Pygame window. So right here, instead of intro is equal to false, I'm going to say p.quit or pygame.quit. So that's going to, basically close the window. And yeah, so in the other case where we're blitting the image, I do not want to blit the intro screen, and instead I will blit that particular image which the player wants me to do. So I'll have a parameter called image right here, and we'll blit the particular image. All right, pretty simple. Now I'm going to remove this global intro screen, and I also want to rename intro to be something else. So I'll call it outro probably. So outro, not outro. Let me just call it end anyway. I think that's simpler. So end while end. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm just going to remove all the comments that I added. And yeah, so there you go. This is going to be your entire function where you have a while loop which cannot be exited basically. And you also want to have in the images set up. So I'm going to first rename this to be end screen. And now I'm going to scroll up where we had all our data. And I'm going to do it after the starfighters data. So here I'm going to add in a comment saying screens. And I should have probably put this with the intro screen, but anyway. So I'll call this end screen. No, sorry, not end screen. You lose screen. So you underscore lose. Let me just call it this. Okay, so you lose is going to be p.image.load. And this is going to be this image right here. So I'm going to show all my files, and it's going to be ulose.png, and for some reason png is capitalized. I don't know why, but let's call it exactly the same thing. So ulose.png, where png are in caps, and it's also important to scale this back to size. So I'm going to say ulose is equal to p.transform.scale, and I'm going to follow this up with ulose. This we've done this many times. I'm going to assume you do it. So you lose and xval and yval. All right. So that is pretty much going to be it. Now we can just copy this entire thing once, and now I'm going to call that you win. So you win is equal to, and you want to change the variable name as well. And now we can change this image name. So you win.png, and we will change this here to be you win. So once again, we'll have xval and yval set up. So that is pretty much going to be it. So now that we have our two images, we can scroll down below, and after we run out of time and we win the game, we can just say end screen and follow that up with the image u_win. Okay, and that is pretty much going to be it. And now I'm going to head back to the explosion sprite where we animated it, and after we have this entire while loop. After this while loop is over, basically after we are done with the animation, we can just say end screen, and in this case I'm going to say u_lose. Okay, that is pretty much it. So now when we run our code, now I'm going to let the zombies just come and get me. So I'm just going to wait for a second. So I think we have, I'm not sure what my health was again. Anyway, so that, boom. And now you can see we have a you lose end screen set up and we can exit it whenever we want. The same thing is going to happen when the you win end screen pops up, but I'm not going to be getting into that now because we have to wait for 160 seconds and I'm in no mood to do that. Alright, so now it's time to set up our sounds, and setting up your sounds is always better at the top, and you could do it either with your colors, but I would prefer to do it a little down below, so I'm going to do it after screen. So leave a couple of lines and say sounds, and once you're done with that, here's what you need to do. Since you're storing the sound in a variable, I'm first going to declare a variable name, and let's store the explosion sound first. So I'm going to say explosion underscore sound is equal to p.mixer, okay, mixer, M-I-X-E-R dot music, not music, sound, okay. And here we can type in the name of our particular sound. And Pygame accepts sounds in MP3s and WAVs, but for some reason, if none of these work for you, or your MP3 doesn't work for you, for example, I would recommend converting everything to WAV. Now, all the files which I've linked in the description below will work if you use them correctly, because for some reason, what I've found is that the Pygame mixer, where we have, sound effects, that accepts WAVs properly, and the music which you're using, in the background, that accepts MP3s properly. So I'm not entirely sure what's wrong there, but let's just go ahead with it. So p.mixer.sound, and the explosion sound is going to be explosion.wav, okay, and you need to make sure you name it all correctly. So once you have that in place, now I'm going to duplicate this a couple of times, okay. And what you can do here is, instead of explosion sound, next I'm going to type in the you lose sound. So let me call this lose sound, okay, and this is going to be this one right here. So you underscore lose dot wav, you underscore lose dot wav, and similarly for the win sound, I'm going to say win sound is equal to you underscore win dot wav. So that is the three sounds, and I think there are a lot more sounds right here. So I'll be getting into the bullet sprite and stuff a little bit, the bullet sound and all that a little bit later, but I think that is the hit hat symbol. I'm not sure where that, oh yeah, that one there. Alright, I'm going to cut the video right here. I know this was a shorter video compared to the other videos, but I think we've done enough, and we'll be finishing off this entire game in the next video with our entire sound effects and how to play them and all of that. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.